Welcome back. So now we're going to talk a little bit more about designing your email template. Right, we're going to go through the guide to email design. Before we get into this, I would like to reiterate the importance of having a domain-based email address. We touched a little bit about this in the last video. And in this video, I would like to reiterate the importance. If you do not have this at this point, I would advise that you try to get a domain-based email address. A domain-based email address, as I mentioned earlier, is basically an email address attached to your corporate domain. It's not an email address that you can get for free. You will have to purchase this. First, you have to purchase a domain name and then get a domain-based email address attached to that domain name. All right, so one of the important steps to creating the best or the most effective email design starts from the nitty-gritty and actually starts from your company name. This can be your brand name if you do not have an organization, if you're just an individual that have a brand. And here are some examples of brands that actually use their names to project their communications. It's quite important, all right, that you have a brand name. If it's your personal name as your brand, then you need to project that in your communication. So with spam and scam everywhere, trust is highly important, and your sender email address and name is important to represent you. Take your sender name seriously, as it allows you to increase brand awareness and recognition. There are several options available. The first and fastest one is to use your company name. This way, your subscribers will always understand who the sender is at first sight. So here are some examples. You can see Victoria's Secret. You know, okay, this is Victoria's Secret. You can see Chanel. Another option is to use the name of a representative or a person responsible for email communication. Sometime later, your customer will associate your brand with that person. This will help interact with your customer, with you, and communicate with your company. One of the big examples is Uche from Bolt. We have Uche from Bolt. I think we have Aisha from Carbon, and these are basically brands that try to put a face or put a name to increase the personal effects of their brand. It's quite important that you can actually emulate and copy this strategy. It works great. You can see that a lot of brands are doing this. So another step to the best email design is to write a very good subject line. Now, subject line should be personal, engaging, and relevant. Emphasis on relevant. The subject line is actually one of the most important parts of your email campaign. This is where customers will basically have a glimpse of what the content of your email. Do not use caps excessively. Incorrect punctuation, uncontentious words. Caps, excessive use of caps are associated mostly with affiliate marketing, spam, and phishing attacks. These are basically designed in a way to catch your attention. Now, they may catch your attention, all right, but they will actually flag your campaigns as spam. So email service providers will actually move all those kind of emails to the spam folder. You can actually check your spam folder right now, and you'll see a large quantity of cap locks emails, subject line emails are allocated there. Subject line is advised to be 50 characters long. All right. Consider using emojis. Emojis basically add life to your email subject lines. Be creative, informative, and personable. Now you can see how have made sure I repeat myself by reiterating the importance of personable email subject lines. Emails were originally designed for person-to-person communication. All right. They then graduated to public communication. So basically, people within an organization can communicate with each other. People within family and friends can communicate with each other. Just the way we have WhatsApp, which is designed as a very personable communication channel. All right, it's important that we try as much as we can to keep it as personal as possible so that we can stand out. Do not use more than 15 capital letters in a row in a subject, pre-header, or body of an email. Now you can see how you're reiterating the importance of limiting the use of caps lock. Make use of ready-made email templates. Now you can decide to design your email templates from scratch or hire the service of a professional to do this. But on a day-to-day operations, you would not want to go to the stress of coding out your own email templates. That's the reason why you need to use ready-made, professional-made email templates. Using templates remains one of the most effective email design best practice. On SendPulse, marketers have access to over 130 pre-designed and responsive templates to quickly create effective emails within 5 to 10 minutes. We will get there. So here are examples of some email templates. All right, let's keep going. We're going to get here very soon. So ensure brand optimization. Brand optimization is by far one of the most important email design best practice. Email marketers should ensure that their email speaks the brand language. Firstly, add the name of your brand to the front field. Then be sure to include your brand logo. That will increase brand recognition and give your email more chances to be opened. Make sure your email template design is consistent for all email campaigns. Stick to several color fonts, layouts, customize an email footer. To simplify the process, create an email template once and modify it for all the campaigns. For every email you receive from Jumia, for every email you receive from your bank, you can see the consistency across every email you receive. Now, this is not just to be able to ensure brand optimization, to let the customer know that it is you all the time. It's also a way to protect you and also protect your recipients of your email campaigns. We users like to see consistent email, and then our mind will record some of these similarities. I said, this email belongs to this company. This email is looking somehow suspicious because the logo is not there. All right, so it's important your branding is consistent across all communication channels. So let's look at some examples. Below is an email from Grammarly. All right, if you don't know Grammarly, Grammarly is basically a platform that helps you write better. All right, so Grammarly shows the brand name, from name, and from address. So you could see Grammarly Premium. This is the brand name. You could see the address is info@send.grammarly.com. You can see the consistency. If I highlight this Grammarly.com and I go online and search it, I will get to the same Grammarly website. You can see the logo is there, the color is green, consistency in brand. All right. Now let's move a little further. Add the perfect pre-header. So what's a pre-header, by the way? A pre-header basically provides context, all right, to your subject line. Here's an example. Here's an email from Uche from Bold, all right, and this is the subject line, which is the bolding or section right here. He said, praise, here's a chance to save you when you need to move, all right? Here is now the pre-header. Who doesn't like discounts, right? So here are ours. So here are yours, I mean. And then there is an emoji. So basically, it expands more on the subject line. Okay, so basically, subject line provide useful context to the prefix. All right, perfect pre-header provides useful context to the subject line and assists in increasing the open rate. Pre-header is visible in the inbox preview, just like I show you right here in the example. In this email body and a previews pane, it should be short and to the point. Stick to 40 to 70 characters. Now, you may notice there are numbers that we're talking about. We talked about subject line should not be more than 50 characters long, but now we're talking about pre-headers should not be more than 40 to 70 characters. Email marketers need to use the pre-header to help the recipients understand why the email is useful to them. So a best way to look at it is check the email, all right? And here's why you need to check the email. Basically give them a little more reason why they need to open your email. So now let's go a little further. Adopt excellent email layout. Now, do not get overwhelmed, all right? It's basically something simple, and when we go into the practical, I will show you how to do that. All this is basically for you to follow along and get all these basic theories sorted out. Now, the size of your email should be about 600 pixels. Now, pixels are basically the measurement of screens, all right? And we will get there very soon, which is ideal for marketing emails. A vertical layout remains the best option. Vertical, basically, just like this. It's a vertical layout, okay? This is a vertical layout. Stick to inverted pyramid design while crafting an email template, as it makes a reader slightly move to the desired action. Now we'll get to that section where we'll talk a little bit more about this concept of inverted pyramid design. Aim for 40-60. That's 40, a ratio of 40-60 text to image ratio. It means that the email should have 60% of text and 40% of pictures. Write messages that load fast. Heavy images, right, or image-heavy emails tend to be flagged as spam by subscriber email providers. Use short sentences as well as paragraphs while also dividing lines and spacing to separate section of your content. Now, the use of short sentences, the use of paragraph, and the use of dividing lines are basically what we call information architecture. Or basically a way you're laying out your email to make it easy for people to follow along and understand. So here is a visual representation of the pyramid design, right? Like we mentioned right here, stick to inverted pyramid design while crafting an email. So what is an inverted pyramid design? You're basically trying to narrow down, guide your reader to a specific action. All right. So the first part of your email is going to contain the essential information. All right. All the needed information, you try to make sure that it's available in the first paragraph. Then you have the second paragraph, which serves to provide additional information. And then we have the least important information part. You could see now that when I'm done reading the first paragraph, if I've not grasped what the email is all about, I'm most likely going to close that email and go read another one. But now I've gotten your attention, right? Then I offer you more information. Then I tell you what to do. So that's basically how the inverted pyramid design works. All right, let's go into email copy. The first rule you should remember when creating an email copy, all right, is to write for your readers. Do not write for yourself. Try to put yourself in the place of your reader. What would they want to hear, right? What do they care about? Do not use email as a channel to tell subscribers how great your brand is. And don't simply list your achievements. People are not interested in the brand itself. They're looking for the easiest solution to their problems. So provide them with your solution. Explain how it addresses their pain point. Simple point is this: make sure all your emails solve a problem. Here's an example. We're using Grammarly again. Now, one reason why I'm using Grammarly in this example is because we write every day. We write emails, we write letters, and we make some easily avoidable mistakes, all right? And Grammarly basically makes it easy for you to avoid that issues. And what is Grammarly saying right here? Writing support anywhere and everywhere. And then you can see how they craft the first paragraph, right? And they go on to talk more about other areas that we might not be interested in. Here's another example of a well-written or well-crafted email by Bridge. You can see here, their brand name is written out, Bridge, into the cryptoverse. And then we have their domain-based email address, hello@bridge.club. You can see how consistent they are. They have the name here, they have the name here, they have the logo, all right? They have the color. If you alight bridge.club, copy it and then go to the website and try to check out if this is a legit website. You will see the logo is the same. You can see the brand color is the same. You can see everything you can see right here is the same. Okay. So let's talk about the footer. The footer basically is one of the most important part of your email. If we're talking about email marketing policies, like we mentioned in our first video, we talked about the Account Spam Act of 2003. So here is where some of the important things that adheres to that policy are located. So an excellent footer should contain the brand's contact details, like we mentioned earlier. It should contain your social buttons. It should contain the unsubscribe link. And it's important to include why are you receiving this email to reduce the chances of spam. So why do you need all these things? They're basically policies. They're basically in adherence to the Can Spam Act policy. All right. But look at it from the stand of a human being. All right. If you receive an email from a complete stranger that you didn't remember that you signed up for, and you want to ascertain the legitimacy of the email, you scroll all the way to the bottom to see more information. And there you can see some social buttons. Social buttons basically links to maybe their Instagram page, their Facebook page, their Twitter page, and then you could go there and see, oh, I think I follow them on Twitter. Then the unsubscribe link gives you as a user the liberty to unsubscribe. You may not unsubscribe, but knowing that that button exists, they give you that freedom that you have the choice to make. And you have power to decide to stop receiving such messages if you choose to. All right. And why does it include why you're receiving this email? It's simply because you need to be reminded. All right. We all go up all day, and whenever we see something interesting online, we might subscribe and forget about it. It's important that you tell customers, or you remind your users why you're receiving this email. So here are some examples. All right. So we have marketing land example right here. You can see this. They went really out. They added the email address, their website, the unsubscribe link with respect to privacy. And this email was sent by blah, blah, marketing land, a third blah, 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 and all this information. All right. Here's an example up here for Bolt, which is the ride-hailing platform. You could see Bolt Operations OU, and then the address. You could see the social media links right here at the top. And then you could see if you no longer wish to receive such emails from us, please click here. Then you could see Bridge. You can see right here in all the social links, and then you can have the preference, the unsubscribe. I think on the section right here is covered by this. There's some more information, but you can see how those policies are adhered to.